I remember my husband came to me and he told me, he said, I end up watching porn. And I was so angry. I was so mad because I was like, I'm not good enough. I'm not, like, really? That's how you feel? And you have to understand that even if your husband watches that, that's still a form of adultery because you're lusting with your eyes and committing it with your heart. Understand, it all starts with the mind. And so I went through a very serious time where I was just angry at him. And I was to the point I was going to divorce him. Because ladies, I'm going to tell you something. You can divorce your man if he sits up there and do that. If it's a physical cheating or if it's, you know, porn, you guys know what I'm talking about, that is something that you can divorce your husband and God will permit it because of it being what it is. But it's your choice. I just was angry. I was so mad because I didn't know what to do. And a lot of time we as wives, we don't know what to do. I was crying, I was frustrated, I was going to God saying, how could he do that? And I remember God revealed something to me. And it was through the word, and I want to read it to you guys today. So in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 28, in the same way, husbands ought to love their wives as they love their own bodies. For a man who loves his wife actually shows love for himself. So some of you might be saying, well, where are you going with this? If there's something going on within your husband and he's going to these different things to cope, then there's something wrong. And a lot of men don't express how they feel. Listen, I know a lot of men don't like to tell how they feel. And in that moment, you are seeing it in the physical and you're so angry, but you're not paying attention in the spiritual, that there's something deeper, that there's something that your husband may be going through spiritually and you need to intercede and pray for him. And a lot of times we get so caught up into what we see in the physical and how we treat our men and being so angry that we don't see it. And I remember God was giving me dream by dream of like what my husband was going through. I had a dream of a serpent wrapping itself around him. I had a dream of like just a whole bunch of things. And it was constantly, consistently, just a reoccurring dream of God saying, daughter, intercede for your husband. Don't leave him. Intercede. And so I did that. I prayed for my husband. I loved my husband. I submit to my husband. And then eventually he came around. And eventually God moved on his heart. And I'm going to tell you something. It took some time. But I believed in God and I had faith. And so I want to tell my Christian wives, it's your choice on what you do in that moment if your husband has done it. But you have to understand there's something spiritual going on that you can't see. And you have to be able to put aside your feelings and put aside how you feel and intercede for your man. Because a lot of times we don't do that. We don't. We just give up. I'm done. And I'm telling you, I was like that. I'm done. God said, daughter, I need you to intercede for your man because there's something going on that you don't know about. And I'm going to show you through dreams, and I'm going to show you, and you need to listen. If some of you are having dreams of your husband and there are things that are going on in the dream, please pay attention because God is speaking to you. God does not want divorce to happen. Even in a situation where it could be permitted, he still doesn't want it to happen. And I love my husband. I care for my husband. So in that moment, I had a choice to make. And it was hard because my flesh was like, But I said, no, I'm going to be obedient and I'm going to intercede. And that's what you have to do, wives. I just want to tell my wives out there, it's deeper. Men don't express how they feel, but they do show signs, and you got to pay attention. At the end of the day, this is your choice. I'm just being obedient and making this video. because I've been through it. I know personally. And God has moved. And he's still moving on my husband. And one thing I want to tell you guys, he never fails. God never fails. He is able to do all of it. Even if we can't see it, even if it don't make sense, I trust God. And that's why I'm still with my husband today.